It was exciting.
Red shoulder.
Right, it's fun to talk about now.
It is.
In the daylight, it's all
It was
about
well off the road and it wasn't gonna bother anybody, so it was amusing to watch for a little bit.
Small.
Yeah.
There are things that you do while you're doing them, you don't realize the danger, and when you're done, they're a great story.
Yeah.
Literally, when I was living in Niagara Falls, I was running a mental health
Is there
center.
any public comment?
Oh, sorry, Ben. Yeah, I have two questions. One is, since I know that we have the new chief and the ex-chief here, if any information is forthcoming about a fire engine, either modification or purchase, that they are aware of at this time, be nice to know from a trust fund's perspective. And I would also like to know if there's some information that could be shared about Steve Small's resignation.
I don't have any confirmed answers, other than it's the same plan going down the road.
We have a cost estimate?
Last time I heard, what you saying, Aaron, 800?
Yeah, probably it's probably 850 now,
Yeah.
the way these things are crawling, and that's best case.
Seasonal works for how long is recreation?
24 years as the rec.
Yeah.
Okay,
And Steve Small retired after 24 or 27.
well, 24 years as the recreation director, and certainly 4 to 6 years prior to that, volunteering his time through the school sports and/or rec committee sports.
It's a 30-year commitment.
Yeah.
And he's been responsible for starting an awful lot of programs in town. And we certainly appreciate his time. We'll add on at it, it's a thankless job.
Another one.
Increasingly.
I think Steve got a lot of joy out of it over most of the years. That's why he did it.
Rich, any comments?
I do not, thank you, I'm sorry. I didn't take the notes here.
Minutes. Somebody wanna move the minutes?
I probably should not, since I wasn't here.
No, you weren't.
I move the minutes.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Michael, I.
Ben, aye.
I will abstain because I, again, wasn't here, although it sounds like I missed a lot of fun.
It was,
No comment there.
yeah, okay, that's right.
Manifest. Do you wanna move the manifest?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Michael, I.
David, aye.
Ben, aye.
I'll say the amount, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be asked that in a minute.
560K and roughly,
$559,617
of which 500 is the school.
and 89 cents.
How much is the school?
500,000 of it is the school. That's for you to sign.
Fire chief appointment. See, we have a candidate here.
Yes.
What do you wanna do with this?
I
Mr.
suspect
Chair.
you move it, talk about it,
I'll
something.
move it, yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Thank you, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome, and yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything.
All those in favor?
Wait a sec, I don't have a second.
Did you write his name down even?
I'll second.
Seconded.
Oh, I thought he moved it.
I'll move it.
Oh.
Okay, I seconded it then.
Thank you. Jesus, you guys.
Ben, aye.
Michael, I.
Don't be rushing so fast.
So done.
So,
Let's clarify, it's for a 5-year term. Tells
no,
me,
no, it's for, from now until the end of Aaron's turn. This gentleman is filling the rest of Aaron's turn, and then the select board will reappoint or appoint whomever,
That
reappoint
old line of.
in 27.
Abraham Lincoln said something like about getting run out of town on a rail, like, if it weren't for the honor of the thing, I'd just as soon decline.
Yep.
So again, March of 27, you'll be revisiting this.
Could we get the full name, please?
And we're certainly hopeful that Daniel Breton, Breton, is ready to go in 27 again.
Yep, we'll discuss that when
See
the time
how
comes.
things go.
Yeah.
And you know what, I mean, as Aaron has done over the years, as stuff comes up, I would just say, reach out to us. It doesn't have to, you don't have to come into a meeting, you could get any one of our emails or phones and just call us and let us know what's going on, if there's stuff we can do to be supportive or helpful. And also, it just, a lot of times it's helpful to know what's coming down the road a little bit in advance, so to the extent you can keep us in the loop with stuff that is gonna require our involvement, that's useful, I think.
And can I just add that if you're sending something, you know, official town-wise, it should go to the select board email.
Okay.
Because you don't wanna just email one and not the others, and you shouldn't be doing that at a meeting and all that good stuff.
Is it the select board or the select men?
Select board,
Okay, is the select men still active?
it does not work anymore, no, it's
Okay.
turned off.
Okay, cause that would always default when I would go to
Interesting.
send it, and it would, so, okay.
Change that on your side.
Well, it's on the, yeah, it's because it's a town email, it would pull both, and I never knew what to do, so I'd do both.
Yeah, I've deleted it though, that's interesting, yeah. Okay,
You ready for a blacktop?
yeah, Scott's here, do it.
That's okay.
And like that?
Do you, unless either
Oh, no.
of you wanna say anything, or?
No,
I have no prepared remarks.
You know, and Aaron, of course, thank
Yeah.
you for,
yeah,
You're here.
it's a challenging,
Here,
difficult
here.
job, and thank you for,
I will help Dan as long as I can in the background and away we go. Harley says, Aaron, get out of my way.
Alright.
Beautiful.
I gotta go to work, thank you.
thank you guys, thank you.
Thank you.
See you, Chief.
How are you?
Would you like Phil, sir, to refer to?
Scott, thanks for coming out and being out, and for Caleb.
So you guys had a busy night. I did too, because my phone went off, and I had to read all the messages that were
Yeah.
going at midnight.
So he's just here to let you know that there's 2 new paving things, not new, but,
What did we get for just blacktop?
yes. They're not new, they're before, but we just got the price on them. Finally.
Main ones for this parking lot, which is
So you topping this, and then what are you gonna do for yours?
just a base,
Yeah,
just an apron.
just the apron, well, that could reduce the amount of crap going into this.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a huge difference at the fire station. Yeah. Yeah,
I know, I think it's well worth it because it is gonna save a lot of that
yeah.
mess going in
And
there.
how much, this still has gradient floor?
Yes.
No better way to really screw up rating heat than cover it in muck. Yeah. Huh, good. Now, so mine is
I
like,
may cut it back from 30. I got 2 different ones.
so Dina, mine is like even 20 years ago, the ability to try to get 3 people to bid on putting asphalt on the ground is nearly impossible.
Well, this was something that came last year. We actually, generally have 2 or 3 different companies and even sometimes more,
Really? Yeah, we
Yeah.
always had trouble getting
yeah.
previously.
But,
That is,
Incidentally, on a slightly side topic, I sent Dina and every year you have to do your legal continuing education, so I'm late and I'm doing mine. And one of the programs was a thing on 91A, and the
Oh, yeah, geez.
Freedom of, the New Hampshire Freedom of Information materials. And one of the things that the commentators were noting was that for towns, it's a real good idea when you send out a bid for public, a bid request, that you make a note in the materials that you send out that says both the bid and any resulting contract will be subject to public disclosure. Because sometimes companies will wanna say, this is confidential, you can't tell anyone else what.
Oh, we don't
And
do
that's
that.
that's not legal under
No, no, no.
990. So we ought to be clear. I don't
We
know if-
already don't do that, and we always post that it's a sealed bid and that it's opened in a public meeting.
Yeah.
So, but I can change the verbiage, so it's
We should put something on when we
specific.
send it out that just says,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the bid materials, any
Right.
bid and any resulting contract will be subject to disclosure under 91. That way we're just, it's clear.
Yeah, no, that,
Yeah,
yeah.
So what do we get for
There's not much out there other than pike
just one?
and pikes.
Yeah,
this was done last year,
Oh,
so this is just the.
so, yeah, no, that's always,
what I was talking about.
where there's like betters and a couple other people, I was always amazed at. And then you find out that the two people that are competing are owned by Pike. So, I mean,
So are you
So-
happy with these bids, or,
I mean, yeah, I am.
okay, well, I
The only
mean,
one for the highway, the apron, and they kept the apron back to 20 feet. It'll be the same price, but putting more down.
Just make it thicker rather than
Make it
broader.
thicker than, yeah.
okay.
yeah,
Can you tell the amounts?
Thank you.
Oh, the highway, the apron, 14,527.80. The town offices are 14,624.54.
I like it, 54 cents.
I know, don't you?
yeah,
It's
Scott,
block grants, coming from block grant, correct?
Yes, and the parking lot is a shim and an overlay.
shim and overlay, but mine,
When it was put in, it never, ever, ever got its top layer, so we're
Does,
lucky it's lasted this long.
Do they paint it also? Do they paint the lines
No,
on
it's
there?
a separate person you have to hire.
Actually, I guess while we're on painting, the crosswalk's gonna have to be painted again too.
Well, then we can do that at the same time, parking lot.
That didn't last very long.
No, it didn't. So we'll, put it out to bid and see.
I think it needs to go. I think we need to do it sooner this year. I mean, we were pushing to the end there last year.
Too cold, you think it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if we schedule them now, then we can get it done during the warm weather.
Right,
yeah, that paint has a pretty close, I mean, the margin
right.
for, to be out of tolerance, and then it just,
I mean, they weren't happy
No.
the way it was going down.
yeah, I would say a 2-inch compacted base course and a 2 inches top course.
Would be more like it, but,
Yeah, but this, a 4-inch would be more like it
yeah.
for that, otherwise, you just get tire tracks. I mean, it's,
I'm not gonna park on it.
never mind, you don't, I mean, the fire engine, you don't park on it, but still, every single one of those, you can see the individual dual rear wheels. You need that, just that certain amount of weight. Our new one, I mean, you guys come.
I mean, it's not that to say that we can't top it. If we have extra money, another year, just top it again.
This is saying two things. Pave a base, pave a 2-inch top. Yeah, mine is you're gonna wanna have at least 4 inches of that.
Right.
We learning that from the station and the ramp in Hanover, so I mean, I don't know. But I mean, and I do think that there's a lot of merit to the top coat. I mean, the base coat you need for the strength, so it doesn't deflect.
Right.
But having that top coat, I mean, man, talk about longevity, protecting it.
They're also using 3/4 inch too,
Yeah,
versus
that can happen, yeah.
3/8.
Good. Yeah, no, so what are we gonna do? We move that or just say, yeah? I move that we, following recommendations of the road agent, that we complete
Yeah, I'll
both
second
of
that.
the pavement bids that were received.
All those in favor?
Michael, I.
And,
And
while we have Scotty here, can I ask you what's going on with our Lyme crosswalk? With our crosswalk sign? That is a source of frustration for me, because we
Yeah,
we
for all
really
of us.
went through a lot of trouble to try to get the funds for that, and I think it's important, and
I received an email from, well, actually, yeah, I haven't heard back.
Yeah. There is a gentleman who does them for Hanover that we contacted, and he asked for info, we've given it to him, so he's gonna get back to us with a price and help to set it up, so.
I would just,
I don't think we realized how much detail there was to it. I talked to Chris down to town of Hanover, and Hanover don't even try to do it. They have this company doing it. It's pretty detailed.
okay, well,
I mean, I thought everything was in the ground too, but it's not. You gotta dig a
Right.
pretty good hole. You gotta set, I think it's a 4-foot hole, and they got 4-foot anchors.
Yep.
so we're waiting for this contractor to get back to us with a price,
Right,
and then we're gonna have to see if that's within what we had appropriated last year.
it won't be, but okay.
It'll be more,
We'll
or,
have, yeah, I know, it'll definitely be more, cause it was not, we had no clue. We were under the impression that when that was put in, when they went through the whole, you weren't here, but the whole hullabaloo about the crossing walk, with Kevin. Kevin's the one that started that, remember, working with the school to make it safer. So they got permission from the state, and they made that little sidewalk in front of the library, and they put that flashy thing, it's not flashy, but whatever, that light sign or whatever it is. And underneath that was supposed to be the
The base.
base for a sign that you would push the button and it would cross you and all that. Scott says that part wasn't done. And that was in the plan. I know it was in the plan,
okay.
so
So
I
there
don't know
is a
what
lot
happened.
there's a lot of detail to it.
All right, well, for whatever it's worth, this is important to me,
Yeah.
I'd like to get this done. And so if there's anything the select board can do to help move this forward, let us know, because
And I'm just waiting on,
Once we find out how much it will be, then that's when you'll have to
So
decide,
when you
make
say
your
lighted
decisions.
crosswalk, are you talking that there's actually lit the LED that illuminates?
It's
it's
a
a
sign
sign,
that
so
flashes
someone can
around
push
the
the
edge.
button and
Okay,
it
good.
flashes and tells people that there's somebody, a pedestrian, like they have all over Hanover and all over
Right, no,
Lebanon,
mine
and
is
all
like-
over White River Junction.
Yep. The one coming up West Wheelock Street, they changed that, modernized that, and that is, people, you just lose all night vision, and that sign really lets people know. That and the one on White River, it's just, I mean, we don't need people getting hit to,
No,
we need to do that.
I was driving by there yesterday on the way someplace, and like school's letting out, there were like dozens and dozens of kids crossing over to go to the library, and the crossing guards out there with a sign, and I'm like, I can't even believe people opposed that. I mean, to have a lighted sign there when all of that, those young kids are crossing, I really, I don't know, I feel like it's important that we get that done. And it's frustrating that we tried to, and apparently, maybe the second time will be the charm.
Yeah. See,
Two
like,
questions, if I might. So what we are saying is that the wiring that we thought was going to be there is actually not there. So it's gonna become a bigger project in terms of costs.
there's no wiring.
no wiring, it's the base that has
Yeah.
to have certain things in it, and
Yeah, okay, and that just,
It's all solar.
so it's more, the base is not done correctly. And I'll put on my library trustee hat for a minute. Has the crosswalk from the school to the library been repainted? Okay,
That was
good.
painted.
I haven't been there, and,
last year.
it was painted in the fall of last year.
okay, thank you.
CCL. Contract.
Yep.
Yeah, you did
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks.
They're supposed to do the aprons on Route 10, the end of the month, I think.
Super duper.
It's just one, I got a bunch of new on Preston to get ready for that. Hope to do it this week.
Right, you gotta put gravel down.
We're gonna dig it up and put that right down, and then hopefully the stuff that's good enough to take out and put it in.
Good.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Steve.
Scott.
Scotty.
Yeah, so on this thing, I don't know if you remember, but we had who was the other, who did we draft this reasonable care? That was,
Naomi,
no, it was for another user.
Pike House, I mean, yeah, Pike House.
No.
And then there was something else that we,
uh,
either way, I added it in.
All right, well, but it needs to, the language needs to be conformed because it uses different defined terms. So I could go through and add this to like section 6E, but I thought, and I didn't do that last night because I was just getting late, but I can conform this so that it fits in the section 6E and uses the right terms. But I wanted to just flag that we ought to add something like this to this, because we thought it was a good idea last time. I still think it is.
Anywho, that can be added, and, then you need to talk about the rates, whether you're gonna keep it at 6,500 or whether you're gonna go up the, CPI. In meeting with Kim Williams, the CCL is going to request funding from the town, I believe, in the town's budget. And, you know, whether it, anyways, I don't, it was just a quick conversation, so I hate to go into detail without talking to them, but,
In my view, those are two
They
separate things.
can't,
We ought to
right.
do this lease, we ought to do it the way we think it should be. I don't think we ought to be charging below market rent because it's, or we ought to be, you know, cutting a special deal because it's CCL, we ought to, you know, the rent should go up by whatever it is, and then if they want, by at least the CPI, otherwise we're basically getting a rent cut. And, at least in my view, and then if they wanna request funds from the town for funding, then that's a separate, you know, that's a separate deal. We decide whether that makes sense and whether that we're getting value for the money that we're giving them, and, but the lease and the funding seem to me to be discrete conversations and discrete.
I think financial fiduciary responsibility would dictate that we need to do that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's the two sides. Then if you need help, then, and you're doing something to benefit the town, I do. Two separate things.
So we have a motion on,
Well, she had spoken about 6,500 and already in item 3, it says the rent should be 66,750.
and that's with,
50 and
that's a 2.7%
50 cents.
increase for the CPI.
Okay, so subject to adding this, we can't just drop this clause that I gave you guys in.
No.
Because the defined terms don't mesh, but I can revise it so that it does mesh, and then we.
Are you talking about under 6E?
Yeah, I would just
Care of the-
revise 6E to include this, you know, analogous language to the stuff I sent around about duty to use reasonable care and inform the town. Michael, you weren't here, I don't think, so you may know about this, but we had a situation where one of our nonprofit entities was using a town building and had leased it for some time, or, you know, was using it at night, and they came in and saw that a pipe was leaking, and just blew it off. They put a bucket under it, never told anyone, didn't call anyone, and so, you know, 4 days later, we find all this water damage. And so, and we were sort of frustrated, and they were like, well, we didn't know, what are we supposed? So, after that happened, we drafted this language, and included it in their agreement going forward. But I think this is good language, and basically the language says, look, they'll take good care of the facility. if you discover something was wrong, you'll fix it, or you'll do what you can to mitigate damage so that it doesn't damage the building, and you'll tell us about it right away so that we can
My
get somebody out there.
communication, but like
Yeah.
putting a bucket underneath something is just
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah, it was horrible,
I mean-
it was really bad, it cost the town thousands of dollars, so, but, so this says, you know, if you find something that's a problem, you'll tell us about it within 6 hours, and it gives them a phone number, or gives them, you know, information about who to contact, and that way, we can get somebody out there to fix the problem, or make sure it doesn't cause big damage. So I think, my view is we ought to incorporate that language into all of these kind of agreements where we're letting somebody use town property.
Yeah, and not to be included in this contract, but I do think for some of those remote, lesser used or used in off-hour type spaces, which I think are still important for the town to have and facilities to be able to be used, having signage that says, hey, I mean, it's not just terrorism, if you see something, tell somebody, you know? And that's no different than a toilet that's continuously flushing and taking out, you know, a leach field and a well. And,
Yep.
yeah, I think signage like that says, it's,
So-
common sense is not,
If you guys are okay with it, what I'll do is I'll modify this clause so that it fits in this contract. But I think I'm okay if you guys are voting to approve the contract subject to that revision.
I would absolutely be happy to move that.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Michael, I.
David, I.
Ben, aye.
But I do think,
And we raised the rent. by
Yeah,
CPI.
probably.
CPI, and then if they wanna come in and ask for money, then.
but mine is like, in CCL, I mean, there's a lot of people that are touched by, yeah, not only them, but the people that they know, the other avenues of support that they can bring. So, yeah, but I do think two different issues.
Mr. Chair, could you read the final number of the rent?
Rent shall be 6,000, sorry. So,
Go ahead, yeah.
$6,675.50
Yeah,
annually.
thank you.
Sansuzi contract.
You know, on these, on the Lyme Center Academy, leases, who pays, when we have these users, these nonprofits that rent it out, they don't pay the utilities, and we've just covered that year round, right?
Yes.
Or, so we're not, so that
The only thing-
$6,700 also covers electricity and heat and.
Right, CCL pays for their own, you know, telephone, but other than that, it's, and we have one internet Wi-Fi in there, but they're getting another one, which they'll pay for themselves too, which is fine.
All right, sorry.
Sansuzi,
Yep. You have an agreement.
This didn't change from last year, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
All it did, well, it add in, this one was originally for 24, and they're including 2025 because of the same abatements that are gonna be addressed.
Can we run a red line on this just to make sure it's the same as last year, or do you know for sure that it's the same?
No, this is not their contract to do our utilities.
Oh,
This is their contract to take care of, to provide general valuation consulting services in the assistance of the valuation of Lockline Lodge,
okay,
which has to do with the abatements.
okay.
Sorry, I didn't realize you caught that.
So
So,
are they contracted? Don't they do?
they are our utility appraiser,
God.
that's their specialty.
Yep,
And they,
and then,
they're, our attorneys are asking them to do, you know, valuation of Lockline Lodge,
and we need to have somebody else do this, why can't our assessor do this?
because it needs to be a different party, they felt,
Who did, the attorney?
our attorney.
Or the, okay, Is that just through the process of like abatements and,
Not generally, but
mine's not
Lodge
the
Lodge
stick
is
venue,
different,
it's
it's
just.
not just a house, it's not just a residential house. You know, it's a complex, it's a condominium, it's multiple things factored
But
in, it's,
isn't, I mean, the assessor doesn't, because the attorney's saying, is it because it's in word, some,
this is what the attorney, yes,
Okay.
wants you guys to do, because this will give the information
You
that they
probably have the
need,
property
that,
owner challenging evaluation done by our appraiser, and so they want a
Correct.
third party to
right.
Yeah.
either validate that or.
oh,
And,
okay.
and it's also because this has already gone to court, it's not just
Oh,
a
okay, I didn't
regular
know that.
abatement,
Yeah, I didn't-
it's,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that, okay. So, you have to give us the money.
I'll move it.
Oh, I seconded.
All those in favor?
Michael, I.
David, aye.
Ben, aye.
Mr.
Yes.
Chair, once again, may I know the number, the amount of the contract?
there is no number,
It's just an hourly.
it's a rate sheet
Oh, it's
and
an
an
hourly rate.
hourly rate,
Okay.
and
Thank you.
depends on how long and how much they have to do. Who
Gina, do you
seconded
have the
that?
hourly rate?
I think I seconded, maybe.
As soon as it gets signed, I can, you know, I'm happy to send you the rate thing.
Okay.
Sorry, but who moved
That's
it and
different
who
rates for
seconded
different
it?
people.
Dave moved, I seconded.
Different, you know, it's like when you hire a law firm, you know,
Everybody's
the partners
talking
one rate,
over
the
everybody.
associates
I
another,
can't
the
hear
paralegals
you.
another,
Making my motion.
Yeah.
junior
All right.
assistant
Okay.
that carries the briefcases.
We had from the senior lawyer to the baby.
We've gotta
lawyer.
get back to order here.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
This is just Barney's signature.
All right, wait a minute, because I think there was something I want you to do first.
What's this, Todd? Hey,
Uh,
we have to move on that?
Yeah, well, if you want an assessor for next year.
Yeah, well, it's not on our list, but so let's do that.
Yes, but you should, well, it was on your last list, that's why.
All right.
Remember? Said, oh, everybody better have a chance to look at it.
So what do you wanna do about Todd Hayward and bring him back on his work he's doing?
Did we send that out to bid this year or no?
Yes.
And Todd was the only response we got?
Yes. We sent it out to every single person on the DRA list. And this is not unusual, I want you to know. There are towns, and not just a few, multiple towns in the state of New Hampshire that get no bids.
All of Vermont gets no bids.
And nobody
no.
wants to do it in Vermont, exactly. So, you know, I don't know what's gonna end up happening with this whole,
All right, so then we don't really have much of a choice. I would move that we move forward, we continue with Brandon Hill Municipal. That's their name, right? So what, Dina, what's going
I
on with that
second
now
that.
is,
you seconded
Yeah.
it, sorry.
Been moved and seconded.
So
Any
last,
discussion? Yeah.
yeah, so are we, is Todd back, or is he living in Florida now, or what's?
no,
the-
he's back.
So he's back, and
Yeah.
is he going to be the person that we're primarily interfacing with, or is it gonna continue to be
I suspect it will continue to be Brendan
Yeah,
that is coming to our town and measuring and listing and meeting with people and things like that. And then Todd consult, like just on this particular case, also with Sanssouci and Loch Lime Lodge, Todd consulted, so.
and you guys are reasonably happy with Brendan, he's responsive and he's been
He's
okay?
very responsive, right, Jordan?
Yes.
You got me
Yep.
thinking, yeah.
yep, no, yeah, he's very, explains things clearly, I think, and very attentive to detail and all that.
And with the changeover to the new software we're using, he's up to speed on that stuff and is able to be helpful?
Yes, yep.
He's already
I
trained
think-
on it.
Yeah, he uses
Because
it in
other
other
towns, and
towns.
actually he likes it way better than the program we're
Right.
using now.
Yeah,
When is that switchover gonna happen?
they just pulled all some data yesterday, so they're configuring stuff right now.
We have no official
Yeah, I
date,
don't have an
but
official startup, but,
we're already using that for our tax bills and the tax program, so.
I have a motion that's been seconded. All those in favor?
Michael, I.
David, on.
Ben, aye.
Jordan,
Yes.
Dina.
Tina.
or- Yeah, Ben, I have a question
There's the
for,
original.
regarding, in the last 3 days, I've had 2 people who asked when do we start doing the twice a year?
in 27. So
So-
this year
So
they
they
did
pay their
the
normal
once,
thing like in December?
normal thing this year,
And then
next year,
July
then
or
they'll
June?
get one
or
in
what?
June.
Yeah, okay, good,
Yeah, a 50% bill in June.
good, okay.
Danny Bailey requested a second Thanksgiving, so he could,
Okay, well, what can we do in
I
June?
love that.
That's right. Okay,
all right, on to our barns,
Yeah, fun topic.
Jordan.
I thought we'd start with smalls, just cause that was the renewal and that one is pretty easy, I think. At the site visit, you guys had just felt comfortable that it was all the same as when he originally had it. So I'm assuming you guys are wanting to keep the same abatement, which is 50%.
So explain how it works, cause I don't remember being involved in that when it first,
So the board can decide between a 25 and 75% abatement off of the structure and the land it sits on.
all right, so it only applies to the barn itself.
Correct.
but also what makes it qualified for that?
It needs to be at least 70, I think I put a copy of the whole checklist in your thing, but it needs to be at least 75 years old.
Yep.
Provide public benefit, whether that be scenic enjoyment, like national, local, regional, historical level of things. And, yep, it needs to have public access. Yeah, so basically, public access, at least 75 years old, and provide some sort of historical importance.
So one kind of concern that I had just generally about
Mhm.
this program is its dispersion across the town. So we have these couple, I guess, three that have been, that people came in and did applications. How do we do anything to notify people the availability of this program, or do they just have to figure it out themselves and come in and ask us about it, or? have we-
Yeah, we have stuff linked on the website, and also I have the actual DRA website linked on ours, so it takes you to all the information of it. I mean, we don't send out like listservs about it, if that's what you mean, but it's,
Yeah.
the info's there.
Okay.
So yeah, I went through the Smalls application back in whenever it was before, and went through the answers on the checklist that you guys did, or I don't know, it probably wasn't you guys, it was probably the last select board. So I didn't know if you guys wanted to keep the same, or if we wanna go through this whole checklist and just double check for the Smalls, since it's a renewal.
How many? I defer to Ben, what you wanna do.
It's up to you guys. You got questions, it's new to us, so,
I was gonna say, I don't think anybody on this board was on there the last time we've done a barn, especially a new one.
But you're confident that they check all the boxes?
Yes, yes.
And the barn
And
hasn't significantly
it is not
changed, that's the key,
Right.
I think.
All that was done was some support pieces in the roofing that we saw, but other than that, it stayed the complete same.
So I'll move that we continue it on the same basis as it.
Okay.
That's second,
all those in favor,
Michael, I.
David, aye?
Ben, aye.
Okay. So that will be continue as a 50%. Perfect. And then I thought we'd do the Cook ones next, just because I think the Bailey's one, we're gonna have to go through a little bit more in detail, cause it's more structures. But so what I thought would be helpful is if we go through the list that I gave, the checklist, and go through the questions and just answer them right through. So the first one is the structure historic? The meaning, is it at least 75 years old? Which, I know it was a while ago that I gave you guys all copies of all this information. And now I'm not gonna be able to find it, but it is. is 75 years old. And the house itself, the cook's house, is listed under the National Historic, but the barn itself isn't. Tim Cook made the statement that because the house is on it, the barn kind of adds to the property, but it isn't officially on the National Historic, but that's not a requirement, that's just kind of an added thing,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, so is this structure at least 75 years old?
Yep.
Yes. And then next is the structure agricultural?
Historically, it was.
So what counts, historical or not?
I don't think it has to be an active agricultural barn.
It just has to keep the historic
Yeah.
structure of it. I don't think, it doesn't have to be an active, like, milking barn or whatever. I mean, I can pull, I'll.
No, don't.
No,
No,
okay.
no, but yeah,
Yeah,
I pulled up the RSA too if we wanted to look in there. Okay, does the structure provide public benefit? And so there are three different, under that category, three different sections, so that's where you guys have to make that choice. Does the structure provide scenic enjoyment to the general public from a public right-of-way or public waters?
Yes,
no.
yes it does. Drive down the river.
Oh, driving down
down
the
the
road.
river,
now.
thing of
Oh,
beauty.
great,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no question.
I didn't know driving down the road counted. Good.
Yep.
Okay, so perfect, we don't even, because the next two
Right.
sections is if no, so perfect. Okay, next is scenic quality of the structure. And so this is where it goes from what, up top, the best of the best quality, and then visibly goes down. So in the opinion of the board, the structure is very scenic and aesthetically pleasing, and the view is unobstructed. And then the next one is, the structure is scenic and aesthetically pleasing, and the view is unobstructed, so it's very or just scenic. And then, is it aesthetically pleasing, but the view is partially obstructed? It's aesthetically pleasing, but the view is very limited, or it's neither aesthetically pleasing or visible.
Well, it's visible and aesthetically pleasing.
And the trees that obscures parts of it are like pre,
Right.
you know, Civil
Right.
War.
And it's not like it's
trees. No, it's a
completely-
beautiful thing.
Not like it completely covers it at all.
And that as a barn, Tim, those guys have done so
Mhm.
much work on that building.
Mhm.
And David, when you go to try and date the building
Mhm.
by looking at the type of joints, well, it was
It
confusing.
was very cool.
Because there's no joints. All of the ridge poles, all of the
One
queen
piece.
posts, everything's one piece tree. I mean,
Wow.
and I was looking at it like, damn. And so, yeah, I would say that thing does have, and it shows, and just the joinery and stuff. These are fairly, you know, that barn has the benefit of a person who's been in that business for 50 years or something.
So the top one?
I'm thinking, I don't know what,
Excellent.
I don't know what the top level would be, but I can't think of many barns that are still, you could have cows or horses in it today.
Pleasing,
I mean,
obstructed, yeah.
It's small.
It's kind of cool how that worked out, that I had to go to a doctor's appointment until I dropped out, and then you showed up for the last one.
yeah, it's a good thing, it's sort of amazing that you were there when I was asleep.
But, you know, if you think about joints, you go into the vet office up here, and
Yeah,
there's a joint in the middle of one of those things that there aren't any, and that barn is how long? It's one piece of timber all the way across.
I
It's
mean,
It
amazing.
was amazing.
it's amazing.
Very nice barn.
But also how the queen posts and stuff are offset is like, I mean, it's a huge difference than like the Connecticut. It's an amazing post and beam frame.
So what's he applying for, how much? 50 or?
So they don't give
They don't
you,
give.
that's all up to
That's
you.
our job.
That's why
That
you're
is
gonna go
all
through
up to
here.
you, yep.
You're gonna go through all these questions and then you're gonna come up with a percentage.
Which is kind of a, it's an interesting process because it is somewhat subjective.
Of course it
It's
is.
not, yeah, it's not like, I mean, yes, we have these questions to go through, but it's not like, okay, cut and dry, here's 50% or here's
Yeah.
75. Okay, so are we thinking the top one of the quality of the structure, or second to top one?
Mine is,
What are we thinking?
mine is, I would be hard pressed.
Mhm.
It would be, I mean, if you went to Billings Farm, you might find one.
Mhm.
But the fact that he has 100-and-something-year-old barn that still has the hayloft mow railing, the trolley system, all that stuff is in place.
Mhm.
The door, I mean, the manure, all of that is still in place. And I think, I'd be hard pressed to figure something that's more historic and more preserved than that. I don't know of any.
Yeah, it was easy. I mean, you look at his original pictures of that barn,
I know, that was cool.
he's put an incredible amount of work
Oof.
into it.
I don't know where the subjectivity, how you measure that out, but mine is, I wouldn't start at 25 and then say, try to prove me a better building. I can't think of a better building that's preserved, that's historically accurate.
Okay.
So I would say that's, on that front, that's about 100%.
So 75 is the maximum, right?
Right, but I'm just going through the questions right
Okay,
now.
good, hit me.
That-
Sure,
Now, you guys are gonna be here till 5 o'clock if you keep
Oh
doing
my
this.
God. Well, then just-
If, on the page 3, the top one,
Yep,
that's the scenic quality, we're deciding which one to check off there out of the 5 different options of aesthetically pleasing.
I think number one, opinion, the structure is very scenic and aesthetically pleasing.
What are you guys thinking?
I didn't see this.
Oh, right, sorry, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I agree.
Agree, okay. Okay, and then next one is public access or participation and enjoyment. So there's view from designated scenic byway, which is Route 10 or East Thetford. Then there is view from a scenic road, which is Connecticut River Post Pond, so. Then there's reservoir.
It's a major collector.
Can you see that farm from the river?
You can't see it from the river.
It's even River Road, but
Right.
You can't see it from Claybrook either. Yeah.
Scenic road. Oh, yeah, but, so it's saying, because
But
River
River
Road
Road
is a
is on
scenic,
there, right.
yeah,
Yep,
so that one, I assume. Right, view from River Road, okay. Historical importance on a local, regional, or national level, individually or as part of a historic area. So like I said, his house, the house is on it, but
so it meets that criteria too.
But
well,
the-
and it also says, the
But-
National Registry listing includes the Moses Kent house.
house,
Right.
but
the
not
house.
the, yeah.
That's
It's
the
a
house,
supporting of it.
barn. Structure.
No, but mine is
a
a-
business significant to the cultural history of the community. That's probably the answer.
Are you saying the second one?
Structures of regional or local importance, it certainly counts on that.
Mhm.
Can you check more than one, or do you just have to check one?
Just one.
I think it's structures
I don't
of
think you
regional
do number
or,
one, but-
I don't think you do number one, because I
Right.
think that would be defined in part of the National Registry of
Right.
Historic Places. And without that,
We can't do number 2, but number 3, the third space. And that doesn't mean it's more or less important,
right. For this.
it's just
yeah.
qualifying it.
Okay. And then this is kind of, I mean, a little bit different than the aesthetically pleasing one, but the condition of the structure. So it's, the structure is, maintained in excellent condition and retain the historic exterior appearance. And then the next one down is structure is able to be restored to excellent condition and retain its historic exterior. And the next one is structure is able to be restored to excellent condition and it may be restored with its historic exterior appearance. And then structure is able to be restored to excellent condition, but may not be restored to its historical appearance.
Right, goes to the first one.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be restored, it's all
It's all restored.
been,
For the historic thing, there's an ellipse detail on the front of that barn and on the run-ins.
Okay,
That's like historic to like the 1800s.
okay,
That, I know that Ray Clark and a couple others, including like we measured that and did the mathematics. That barn is actually pretty tricked out. It's an important barn. Good,
okay, so those are all the questions.
good.
So off of that,
You then.
you now need to come up with a percentage between 25% and 75%. And that will be applied to the structure and the land it sits on.
And how are those weighted between those, are these questions to determine if they're in?
These questions are to help you determine that it meets for the requirements and kind of gauge where you guys are. And then you use that to make your decision. I know.
So you haven't done the math for us?
There's not much, I mean, the only math is once you give me the percentage, cause then I put in the square footage and stuff.
I mean, just as a general matter, as a approximate, we have 3 of these things. How much does the tax bill going down when we approve these things at 50% or whatever we do? I mean, you know, just round numbers, I'm trying to get a sense of what this is, what does it actually cost the town
Right.
in terms of foregone taxes?
I genuinely don't think I have even an estimate for you. Dina, you got any ideas?
You have assessment, is there an
not a
assessment?
lot,
Like, I know it's,
sorry, but
No, not a lot, I mean, like, you don't have a lot of an idea, or you
I was
figure
trying
it's
to
400
think
bucks or
of
800
what like
bucks or?
Steve's was,
Yeah, what's Steve's?
what the difference was, and it's a few $100s, I think, but, you know, it also depends on what your building is valued at, and it depends on, you
Yeah.
know, there's a lot of variables.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm trying to get at is, you know, if this is costing the town $15,000 per applicant every year, then that's one thing. If it's costing us $700, then that's.
Well, what
another.
costs us the most is administration of it, exactly, between
having to
all the
post
work that
public.
Jordan's doing, all the work the assessor does, all the work.
Do you know the answer to this?
I don't know the answer to this particular property. Sorry, I'm a Dare Mulligan. I had something to do with this statewide program going in. I had a barn preservation easement on my own barn in Lyme Center Village next to the Baptist church. And it was, I think I got a 50% assessment because the barn was sort of like behind the house off the road. And it made a difference to me as a single working mother of like $500 a year, which was, and allowed me to invest in the barn and
Yeah.
keep it up.
Yeah, I don't mean to
Yeah,
Yeah.
disparage the.
Oh, no,
I'm
I
just
didn't
trying
hear
to-
that, no.
most people do this for the value of keeping the historical part of the barns up and looking nice, and then they still get a little bit off for what they put into it. It's not
Okay.
a moneymaker. Like I said, I think administratively, it's fairly much a nightmare.
Yeah, especially when you
pain.
get 3 of them all at once.
It's
Yeah.
overwhelming,
It is,
exactly, but,
definitely.
you know,
Whole
get through it.
farm run.
so.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if
So
we're,
what is Steve's barn?
50%.
I don't think I can give him less than 75%, but that's me.
My feeling is 75 on Tim's barn,
1, 2, I'm
he
counting,
meets all the
Three.
criteria.
4.
Yeah. and looking at the town's vision, the pole barns, the code outside of the building, the house, the workshop, the shed, the barn, it's currently valued at $9,100. Yeah, I'm completely supported 75% on Tim Cook's.
Well, 5 out of 7 are up there,
Yeah,
so.
We only have 3 barns over 75 years old.
There's a couple more we
more.
have that haven't expired.
Okay.
How
But
long does it
also
go
people
for
don't-
once they do it?
10.
10 years, so
10
that's good, at least you don't have to go through this every
Exactly,
year.
yes, definitely.
Yeah, and then they decide whether to keep it in or to not put it.
And presumably renewals are easier than
Much.
fresh applications.
Much easier, yep, unless
All right,
something
we have a motion
significantly.
I call the question.
on-
Michael, aye.
Oh, we already moved it,
On 75%,
Correct.
correct?
You
David,
moved
aye.
it? Who moved it?
and I,
No.
Michael moved it,
Okay,
I'll second.
David seconded it,
okay. Perfect,
and they all said aye.
aye, aye.
Aye, 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 aye.
aye, aye, sir.
Okay, now the one that I think is gonna take us some time. Oh, don't let me forget to have you guys sign these too. So, what I believe is which I think is what they recommend too. Since there's 3 different structures that they're asking for you to consider, we're gonna have to go through the list 3 times on each structure. Just so that, I mean, or we can kind of do it as we go. I just made a couple copies of the overview that they provided and just the different structures. So, first, I'm gonna start with the barn, the cow barn.
Well, actually,
Or what do you, yeah, how do you wanna handle it, Ben?
I don't know, we could do all these things that are on this list of questions apply to the whole farm.
If that's, yeah, if that's how you feel, if you think the house, silo, and barn all follow the same answer to each one, then
That's what I feel.
that's what you feel, okay? How do, and Michael wasn't at this one, but how do you
Yeah, fine.
feel? Okay. Okay, so going straight down again, is the structure at least 75 years old?
Yes,
And within the cover sheet and all the other documentation they gave, they are all at least 75 years old. Much more, a lot of them. Okay, agricultural, yes, I
Yep.
think, right?
Yep.
Does the structures provide public benefit? And that's where you decide either scenic enjoyment, local, regional, state, or national level of historic. And then, oh wait, no, that's safe now. So, yeah,
yeah, I would say yes, because, you know, it's what you see when you come to Lyme.
And first thing you see is you pull into town.
And it's also one of the last 2 working farms in town, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, in contrast to the other structures, this is still being used in an
For the
agricultural capacity,
purpose,
which is
yeah.
kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it will be in the future, there's a young fella
right,
still farming it, so.
keeping it going. So do we feel, are you thinking it provides scenic enjoyment, or do you wanna, it can also be that it is of historical importance?
Well,
Both.
Okay,
Is it only scenic? Does anyone have any aroma benefit?
I think that's important.
I do think it's
That's part of
important.
the
No, mine is
scenic,
right?
absolutely.
mm-hmm.
Okay, all senses being acknowledged.
Okay, now on page 3 of the checklist is the scenic quality of the structures. So this is either very aesthetic, but it's partially obstructed, aesthetic but limited view from the road or water, or that it's not aesthetic
I would go
or,
with 2. The structure is scenic and aesthetically pleasing, the view is unobstructed from the road or waterway.
Yep, agreed.
Yep, that's where that would fall. It's from Route 10 for number 2.
oh, yep, public access. And then the historical, and I have a lot of,
It's got lots of history.
It's got lots of history and it's a structure of regional and local importance.
is that right? Do any of you remember off the top of your head, or Adair will probably be able to remind us, if it's on any of the registries per se, or is it a local, I know they were in a lot of local historical things.
It is just south of the arbitrary Grant Brook boundary
Got
to
you.
the
Yep.
local Lyme Common Historic District.
I remember you saying
But
that.
the buildings, none of the structures themselves are on the historical register or anything.
Not yet.
Incidentally, it sounded like when we were visiting that property, like they're in the process of trying to organize to raise some funds to do restoration and stuff. I would love to hear more about that, because I'd love to contribute to that. It'd be nice to have those things,
I'd love to talk to you until the cows come home. The cows are already over there.
do you know what's going on with that, or who can we reach out to if some people wanna contribute money to that, or?
Sure, Bill Warner would be a good person to reach out to.
I can take you over to meet Dave Roby at some point.
Was Dave supporting
Yeah.
this? Okay, sure.
Yeah, yeah, and he's planning to contribute, as I understand it, 50% of the costs of restoring the farm, stabilizing and restoring the farmhouse, stabilizing and restoring the barn, and then gonna do some grant writing and, you know, ask people if they'd like to pile on.
Okay.
Love it. Mhm. And all it's within, Michael, if you wanna read any of this stuff, cause I know you missed this one, but the different doodads that they referred to, and the very cool, historically built structure, or, I don't know what
Yeah.
word I'm looking for, but very cool to see. Okay, what number are we on? 3. Historical importance on a local, regional, or national level individually or as part of a historic area. So it's not that first one, because it's not on the registry.
It's the same as Tim's, isn't it?
I
Regional and local importance.
would think so.
Yep.
Because there's a bunch of different articles and like the historian stuff.
Books on it, yeah, I
Books,
would
yeah.
go with number 2.
Mhm.
Good.
Okay. Okay, and then condition of structures. And this is, I don't know if this part you feel that they're all consistent, or if there's one structure that you think is in better quality versus another, but.
I'm thinking number 3.
I'm thinking number 3, Dave, but, Dave, in a public session, and Adair's here, is there any action, or, I mean, it's not that there's tremendous weight if we go up or down one, but if we know that a project is about to be undertaken by private people for the public benefit, is there anything that's in here that we should say, really, that it could retain its exterior appearance? I mean, I don't know if this is moot, but is there any way, is there a position that we take here that's gonna be beneficial to people about to undertake a project to try and stabilize and restore this?
No, I don't see it, I think.
Then I go with number 3 also.
All right.
Are you feeling good about that too, Ben, the third
Yeah.
one? Okay, that was the last question, but if there's any info you want more to look through any of these pictures on here before you make a choice, or any,
What number are we gonna go with here?
great question.
Mr. Chair.
I'd go with we know what is in store for it, and I would go with the 75.
I'm supportive of that.
They have 5 out of the 7 also.
Yeah.
Upper.
Steve gonna feel slighted?
I don't know, I doubt it, but.
All right. I'll move it at 75%.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Michael, aye.
David, aye.
Ben, aye.
It's not even 5 o'clock yet.
I don't know, you guys you really got in gear there.
I mean, but I do think style of barn, that's, yeah.
It's because Jordan was so organized.
That's
I
right.
try, okay. Well,
I'm gonna send out a listserv email and inviting people to apply for this.
And I never knew that houses could count,
Mhm.
What?
that the house could count also.
Yeah.
Never knew. I thought it was just for barns. Why is it called a barn? easement.
Well, the technical term,
I know.
that, we just like to shorten it to
We
that.
like to say farm.
What are
Probably
the other
don't need to
ones
send out an
that
email
already
anyways,
have
because it's
this?
gonna be on, it's gonna be on the
Yeah.
wall,
The other ones that are in the
the
10-year
YouTube
period.
channel, so.
Orange meat?
Yeah,
Pretty
Down
soon.
Market
Rich's
Street,
YouTube channel, so,
Cynthia Bognolo's
be
barn.
widely disseminated.
Up on Whipple Hill, there's one, I can't remember the name of the people.
I know. Then the Williams on River Road.
yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
And
sure,
the
you
yellow
say
and
barn,
then, the other one there,
the yellow barn
Mudge.
on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Old Barn.
really pretty old
Dorcas's
barn
barn.
on, hardscrabble, I wonder if.
So there's quite a
Yeah,
few,
okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Ramsden's?
Can I just speak for a second?
Dear?
I just want to thank you all for the time you took to look at this, and to Jordan for being like uber well organized. And even I could follow her, this whole thing, so thank you. The family will be relieved, and it will give an impetus to do the restoration work that everybody is really hoping to make happen.
I'm excited to see it all happen. Okay, the only signature I'll need from you guys is, I put a sticky, one signature on each application. And then I'll use the handy dandy formula to get the exact stuff.
Ink, black ink.
Is there any time limit in which people have to apply for this sort of thing? Or if David puts something up on the listserv, could people, just engage in the process again?
You can apply anytime, it's just not gonna,
It
since we're
sounds like
past
a lot of
April.
people already have that we were unaware of because we weren't selectmen at the time.
And yes, this won't count for them until April. You have to have it in by April
15th,
in order to
maybe, I
count
think,
for
I
that,
think it's the 15th.
for that tax season.
Okay.
So next year it will count for them. Believe. While you guys are signing, can I ask you something?
What?
So Jim Mason has asked, about placing a tree, out at the boat launch where that kiosk is, to create shade, to make it stand out less. So he'd like to plant this tree, and to provide some shade on hot summer days. A silver maple, cause it does good in wet. So he's asking, and this would be, he's also asking the Conservation Commission to put one in the Chaffee. And it would be paid for and planted by those guys with a small plaque of acknowledgement on it.
Silver maple
That goes
is one
with
thing, tree,
Goes with there.
don't do well. When they get older, they fall apart, that's all right.
There was a tree there.
You won't see it in your lifetime, and neither will I probably, huh?
Well, they're fast.
There is not a big tree, I mean,
There
there's
used
not
to
a
be one
tree,
that
there's a
they-
few shrubbery
Yeah.
bushes, but the only
Yeah,
tree
that-
I think is over here.
I don't have any problem, because it's a lot of sunshine down there.
And the Conservation Commission can vote on the
Yeah.
Chaffee, but you guys should vote on the bowl landing.
I would move that we support Jim Mason's proposal and those guys with gratitude to install a silver maple tree in the area of the kiosk.
I'll second that.
Yeah,
All those in favor?
I'll second it too.
Okay. Thank you. Or he thanks you.
Yeah,
All right, that's for
I wonder if he could plant one in my house while he's at it.
non.
We planted one about 22 years ago. It's now 50 or so feet high. It grew up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
That's not,
No, that has to
that's
change.
nothing met the 10
No.
minutes, always got to find.
Nope, correct.
So would you communicate
I
that?
will.
I don't wanna cause any kind of,
Nope.
oh, you do it,
But I mean, is requesting this one change. I think maybe we can go after, I think we should, I don't know that, what do we normally do?
we don't,
No, good, I
they
think, no,
have for every single past one.
we've just done that, and that's what we've
And
done.
I think the select board certainly should show up and make it,
Yeah.
you know.
That's it, 100%, good.
Okay. So I don't need to ask that, this is the quick contract agreement for the painting of the buildings that you guys already agreed to, signed, so I just need your permission to move forward with that, cause he's gonna come in a couple
Need
weeks.
that?
Yes, please. It's already been voted for the painting of the buildings.
Yeah, it's too bad that, Paul wasn't available at the time we sent the contract
Either way, anyways, I just wanna make sure you know he's ready to move ahead in a couple weeks,
out. All right,
so, okay. You already have a,
we already voted it, so.
right, the town voted it, you voted it. It's an agreement, so,
And then we have, are we at non-publics?
you do have two non-publics,
And
yes.
then I got one to add to that too.
Does it fall under L or C?
See,
Okay.
that's reputation, right?
Yes,
I move that the board go into non-public under RSA 91A32L.
I'll second that. Oh, Al,